I don't have to meet somebody anywhere I don't want to meet them, because at the end of the day, if I don't receive whatever they're giving me, I don't have to. And there's nothing wrong with that.
It's good to do things in groups because they'll hold you accountable.
It's the same with these TikToks and stuff. The money's coming, but it's coming fast. And just as quick as it comes, they spend it. So it'd be interesting to see the world in 30 years.
The best way to do anything, see any kind of group, is you have to take some inventory every once in a while. One of the things I learned is relationships are like dig into them, because that's all we have. Like money don't matter, jobs don't matter. How much weight we lose sometimes don't matter. But this that we have right here with us matters so much.
Come out to play.
Boy, I gotta tell y'all, that time comes so quick. Every Wednesday, they say do something you like in the middle of the week, and it makes your weeks go by so smooth. I'm here. I'm with my best friends in the world. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You are watching Rebrander's podcast. I'm your host alongside my family, not even friends anymore. Let's go ahead and get it started. What's up, Yashika? How you doing?
Ooh, good. How are you?
I had to go way around Helen just to get you at the bottom.
Good.
We going well?
We expected.
That response tells
who you
the
ask.
whole
Right. She said a whole nother answer without saying her answer.
That response told the whole story. I'm all with it. All right, let's keep the game going with ladies first. What's up, Helen? How you doing?
Hey, y'all. I am happy to be here. I'm excited, always excited to be on the podcast. Hey, y'all in TV land. Thanks for joining us.
Right on.
You can find the podcast on all the podcast platforms. Honestly, Helen. 1 L in Helen.
Y'all be sure to go and check it out. For everybody who's coming here late, who's watching the show to the next day or later on tonight or whatever the case may be, y'all just got that information. Please do us a favor and go watch Helen and all her different other platforms. They're good, and we're on some of them. So, go check it out. Last but not least, what's up, Ace? How you doing today?
What's going on, world? Everybody, I'm doing just fine. Everything's good with my soul, brother. Good with my soul.
You can find
it is well. It is well with my soul.
Yeah.
Well, my friend, I absolutely love it, brother.
Hey,
y'all, this is another week where y'all get to enjoy watching us on the best podcast in the world. You may learn something. You may actually enjoy yourself. You may actually, can join in if you want to. So please do all those things. You're watching Brandis. Bring a friend. Hey, look, we are actually having a pretty good show tonight. We want to talk about how to be successful in an unsuccessful world or an unsuccessful society. We also want to talk about what the agenda is on our masculinity in this world, too. We want to talk about a lot of things. We're not going to talk a whole heck of a lot about Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? But we are going to talk a whole heck of a lot about everything that he has done. So tonight's going to be a very good show. Go ahead and share it. Bring your friend. Do all the commenting that you want to. I'm sorry, y'all. Got multitasking at that time. But do everything that you want to, okay? So here we go. We're going to have fun tonight. K-Hamp, what's up, my main man? How you doing? Friends telling friends. All right, y'all. Let's just jump into some conversation, okay? I'm going to take the music out so we can really get in with each other and get to talking. All right. So my mom told me to ask this question today. Let me see if I can pull it up on the screen. And so it's a pretty good question. And before we jump into our full conversation, I think I'm going to bring this question up. And I think this is a really good way for us to kick off the conversation for today. And that question is, what's the agenda? I'm sorry, wrong question. That question is, oh, wow, I put it up wrong. Anyway, the question is, what are you teaching people about you? And how are you teaching people to treat you? I'm going to ask it again. What are you teaching people about you? And how are you teaching people to treat you? Okay. Now, Yashika, I think we have this in a few promos where you say you have to teach people how to treat you. But I think this is a very good question because as we move forward in this world, we have to know more about ourselves. And I had a conversation with a friend of ours who's been on the show today by the name of Stephanie. And I said the same thing to her, and I'll bring that up what I said to her in just a little bit. But I'm going to throw this question out to y'all. What are you teaching people about you, and how are you teaching people to treat you? So y'all can go.
I think this question ought to be asked. Every high school senior should get this question in class, and the teacher should take it seriously. And I think they should have to answer it 3 or 4 times until they hone it, because that question will take you into life. What you do, what you say, your actions will teach people about you. Like, it doesn't matter what you say, it's your actions that'll teach people about you. But how you treat people, how you teach people to treat you, is what you let them get away with.
Mm-hmm.
If you allow people to use you and dog you out, make little slick remarks, or just overall disrespect you, you're teaching them that, hey, it's okay to treat this person like this. I think this question here could take you through life.
Mm-hmm.
I think so too. When you say it takes you through life, I think that's true, because I think at different stages, if you're growing, truly growing, some people are stagnant. They the same as they was in high school. They still talking about when they was on the basketball team. Oh, really? When'd you play? Back when I was in 11th grade. You 50, you know. You 50, baby. You just come on, come on. But what I would say is, I think it's important. One of the things I always say is you have to teach people how to treat you, but I always follow it up with, because they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know because they don't know you. And in order to know you, you have to teach them. It's not always negative, because sometimes people don't know how you are. And so you have to just show them. But one of the things that I think is important, when Ace said lifelong, is, yes, in high school, there's a certain way you are. But then in your 20s, you're another way. In your 30s, you're another way. So it's a lifelong lesson for others that's around you and for you. Because as you grow, there's some things you allow. There's some things I allowed when I was 20 that I wouldn't dare allow today.
Give us some examples.
Yeah.
After hours.
Okay.
I think what is so beautiful about these questions paired together is that it is such a way for you to do some self-reflection. It's an easy way to just do a simple self-reflection. And I've always struggled with, like, how do you identify ways in yourself that you're not sure you 100% like, or maybe you're not even sure who you are. And I don't know how to get people to that point. And I think those two questions, because it forces you to think about how you act, and it forces you to think about exactly to what Ace said. What are you allowing people to get away with? So chef's kiss to Mrs. Goodson, Mama Goodson, for coming up with this. And I low-key want to recommend we probably should just put this out maybe every other episode. Get the people thinking. It's such a good set of questions that you just sit with and think about how does the world see me? And then how am I telling the world to actually treat me? I think I don't even want to, I really want to answer, but we're going to be here for 10 years if I answer it.
Oh, that's okay. I'm going to answer it, and then you can come back around. Let's go to the comments. What's up, Deborah number 1? How you doing, Deborra Colette? Corey Round. Happy to have you back once again, Corey. David, what's up? He says, David Gabo says, wreck 'em. That's what we're going to try to do. What up, Kiki? Always thankful to have you back, Kiki. All right, he says, I'm teaching people about my personal history to include my upbringing, core values, and work ethic. I also let them know that if you cross me once, I'm not turning the other cheek. I like that one too. Corey Rouse says, yes, I'm too nice and fall. Well, there you go. Chris Bell says, this has a silent answer. Your actions, your reactions should speak loud. It's all about the calm reaction, and sometimes the spoken word is best for me. Not overreacting, though. You know what? I like that answer, Chris. And the reason why I say I like that answer is because what I'm teaching people is what I'm throwing out there.
Yeah.
If I'm cussing all the time, people gonna start cussing around me. If I'm stealing, I'm gonna start stealing. It's the crowd that I start accepting around me because they doing the actions that I am. You can't really be one of those people who do something but expect something different. My life motto, and I haven't said it in a while, but I'm gonna say it again on here today. If what you see is all you see, then you don't see all that there is. So the flaws that you see in me sometimes is not, or saw in me, it's not what I can allow you to guide me by. In other words, who I was when I was 15 is not who I am at this age. I can't put the button up, so I decided not to say my age for sheep's sake. But so I'm going to teach you. You can't treat me the way it was when I was 15. Not at this age today. I've learned a lot. I've gained a lot. I've lost a lot. I've won a lot. All those things. So that develops me who I am today. So now I only have friends. That's why I'm not hanging around with a bunch of 15-year-olds. You see what I'm saying?
Or I said, And one of
Plus,
the
you
things
can't
that I
sing good
think
enough for that.
One of the things I think with Chris's answer is a really good answer, but one of the things I like to say and what I've learned, because I'm forever learning about myself, and I've learned something recently happened at work, and there was something that was said that was, to me, I felt it, and I only felt it because I look like me in a room with nobody else that looks like me. But I felt it because how I look like me. But knowing, even in calm voice, for me to say something at that very second, wouldn't have been the right thing to do. So I think it's important that as we grow, I know we talked about emotional, what was it? Intelligence. We talked about that before. I think as we grow, we have to make sure we're keeping our emotions in check. Because sometimes when you teaching people how to treat you may not be right then, because you may be too emotional for that. And so you might have to give it time and sit back and think about it and then come back, when you're ready to address it. Just because you don't address it at that very minute doesn't mean it goes away.
Yeah.
Good evening, Nell. Good evening. Kiki says, "Where's my shirt?" Oh, no, she didn't. What she say, Ace?
Oh, don't come to
Where my shirt? Where is
Where
my shirt?
Where's my shirt? All right.
Oh,
Don't get Kiki, okay? She was.
I'm sorry, Kiki. I got to do it. Corey Rouse said, she says, "Yes, I'm too nice. It's at a fault." Absolutely. And Chris Bell said, "Sometimes you have to be stern but fair."
Yeah,
absolutely.
You do. I agree.
That's it. I was talking to I was at one of the clinics today talking to a doctor. They were having like a community event, and I was like, man, I was like, it's great that y'all got the people coming out. And he was like, yeah, I just wish there was a way we just get them more involved to listen to us. And I talked to him about exactly what we're talking about. I said, they don't see you guys as human. You're a doctor. I said they don't see you guys. I said they go back in that office. They don't see you come, go, lunch out in the community, anything. I said you got to be more visual. Me and him, we have a great relationship. And I told him other people need to know you like that. I said start eating lunch in your area where you work at. Come out to the front lobby sometimes and sit and talk with the people. I'm landing the plane, but this has something to do with it. You just try to find Kiki's shred.
Kiki says, "Yep, where is it?" All right, we're gonna talk a whole lot more about this subject here in just a little bit. I think towards the end of the show, I'm like Helen. This is one we could probably talk about every single week and get something out of it for sure. Because I demand respect in every aspect of my life, as a parent, as a spouse, as a friend, as a worker, co-worker, neighbor, you name it. And I have to adjust that, and I have to put forth effort every single time. And if I let it all go disarray, then one day I'm gonna try to come and say, no, y'all have to stop and start doing this, and you will not get the respect because you've let whatever go along for so long. But anyway, we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk a little bit more about that. Helen, I want to hear what you got to say. Deborah Collette says, "My daughter said it best. You don't get to talk to me any kind of way."
Yeah.
She must be talking about Kiki.
Hey, we're going to talk a whole lot more about that here in just a little bit, y'all.
Love you,
But we're
girl.
going to keep the show going. How to be successful in an unsuccessful society.
Yo.
Now, there's something going on right now, and I think it's a masculinity situation. All right, so I think the agenda is off. Dave Chappelle came up with this whole thing about black men wearing dresses, and we're not even going to make this a racial situation, I don't guess. But what's the agenda on masculinity in America? That's what I want to talk about when we come back. I'm going to take a quick break, and we're gonna hit that one pretty hard. Sound good to y'all?
Yep.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay.
What's the top 10 populated cities in the United States?
I never was good at trivia.
How many cities in Texas are in the top 10 cities in the United States?
3.
Dang.
Zach says 2.
No. Can I say 5? Texas is massive. Y'all big.
There are actually 4.
Houston got to be.
Dallas, San Antonio,
Jacksonville on there?
No Jacksonville's at all.
LA,
New York,
San Francisco,
Number 1, 8.3 million people.
Philadelphia,
Atlanta,
Baltimore,
No.
Sulphur Springs,
Man, get outta here.
Number 3.
Honolulu.
Okay, no. I will go through the list for you. The number 1 city in the United States is New York. Number 2, LA. Number 3 is Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago.
Number 4 is Houston, Texas. Number 5 being Phoenix. Number 6 is Philadelphia. Number 7, San Antonio. Number 8, San Diego. Dallas, Texas is number 9. And then you have Austin with 974,000.
to all of you watching here, come close to the screen and listen. People don't have to like you. People don't have to love you. They don't even have to respect you. But when you look in the mirror, you better love what you see. You better love what you see.
Oh, Shirley Ralph. Giving Moesha that inspiration.
You better. You better.
It's so good.
Well, she overacted just a tad bit. But
see, Scope. Just a scope.
That's exactly your point across.
Yeah, he said Shirley Lee Ralph, but I thought that was Angela Bassett. I mean, because Angela Bassett is an overactor sometimes. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Before we went to break, we said we had a question. What's the agenda on masculinity in America? Ace, can you start us off with that?
Yeah. I think one of the things going on.
Yeah, watch your mouth.
Oh, here we go.
What? No, it just seems like the agenda is pushing against it. It's like there's a war. It's like it's being pushed upon the women, and then it's trying to be pulled from the men. So we got this ever so conflict, and also society is also letting men get away with a lot of stuff. Now they used to not just be cool, just like I see all these people getting divorced, and the men are filing for spousal support. And I'm like, what's going on with that? You know, and it's like, it's cool. It's like a thing to do. That's just one example.
Listen, can I just throw this out there? Because I don't know if I have an idea of the agenda, because I don't think I see a lot in my social media about maybe suspectable masculine.
Whatever it is.
Right, one of them words. It looks suspicious about masculine. Right. However, wasn't there a whole like cry from women about the world being equal? It sounds like the world is just moving towards equality. Like men get divorced, run me my support, I need support. And women are, I think women have always kind of been a little stepped into our masculine energy because we normally got to. And I think that's just being respected more in women. I don't think women are backing down from having to be breadwinners in their house, or I don't think there's as many women who have a traditional view of what it means to be a woman in a household, maybe. But I'm just wondering, like, that's what it sounds like. Like there was all this, there's so much gender double standards, right? Like women can't do certain things and men can do certain things. So it sounds like, it's shifting towards just, we're all just people versus genders? Or role-specific gender things?
I think the most interesting part of the question is in America portion. I don't think that we have those issues in all the rest of the world. I think America has something. And, we fight and we get upset with different political views. But and I don't know if y'all are Republican. I don't know if you're Democrat. But one thing I think the Republicans got right, if not Donald Trump, then men are men and women are women. If you're gay, you're gay. That's a whole different subject. And, trans and all that stuff is what I'm talking about. A man is a man. And I also believe that a man should act like a man. All that crying and going on, that ain't a manly thing. And there are gender roles, but that's a whole different situation. I think that,
I think that sucks though. Like, and I was gonna ask, like, how do you define what masculinity is? Because I think showing your emotions shouldn't be equated with your gender, right? Like, you crying about something, you crying, like you upset. Like, why can't men cry about being upset? What's wrong with that?
Showing your emotions is one thing, but men who weeping and crying and weak with it is another. If I go to a funeral, I cry. If I break my arm, maybe I cry. And if something but if I'm at the movies, it's a time and a place for some men to say, I got to be like grandpa. And so that's where I'm at. I think that once we start showing too many emotions, then that's when we start to weaken as men. Sometimes you have to swallow it up. Man, I was talking about this other day. Social media is not the place for you to always, I miss so-and-so, and I'm crying all the time, and I'm looking for people to, surround themselves around me. That to me is what really weakens us. Social media weakens us quite a bit because now we can be a little bit different from who we truly should be or who we really are. Let me go to the comments and I'll let y'all get y'all's piece out. Kay Helm says the agenda of masculinity has strategically been replaced with the word misogyny. Oh, I'm glad I got that word. And Tori, you're right.
I'd agree.
Yeah, we're gonna come to that in a little bit, Cam. And Tori Wright says it's in the entertainment. They are paying black men to wear dresses and play gay to become famous. If men are softening, it's going to make women harder. Absolutely. Tori Wright also says, "Girl, no, we don't want no soft man." Hopefully, I'm not freezing up, y'all. I'm having computer problems over here. Chris Bell says masculinity has been on the decline for a while, but it's starting to turn around. I really think it has to do with the man just wanting to settle versus going for what they want. This is not popular, but women have been trying to raise their unrealistic bar instead of going to their place in a relationship. Each person has a role and can be equally divided. I like that a lot, Chris. He says we can cry in solidarity. I love that. And also, K. Hemp says, Helen, men can't show emotions or cry in front of their women. It would likely be used in an argument in the future. Plus, their women may view them as weak. Like we viewed Trey weak in Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
And one last comment. Corey Rouse says, I don't think women are supposed to be able to do everything a man can do. We are here to do everything a woman
Corey
can't do. Then she says, but I'm old school in the way that I think. That's good, Corey. I like that.
Yeah. And it all equal out. Kind of like James Brown said, it's a man's world, but it'd be nothing without a woman. You know, and so we have to find that equality within that.
I don't know about that. But he was sweating, wasn't he? I don't know about that one. But I get where you're going though. I think, but for me, I think too, I don't know. I guess I'm traditional in a sense too, but it's hard for me to say that. And then I don't necessarily show it. Like I'm a single parent and I work hard. I do, the best that I can. I'm able to support myself and my kids and stuff. But I know my role. Try me, Jesus. I know how to step into the role, as a woman. I think women being successful, I think it's great. Because I think I can say I'm successful. I have a level of success, right? But I think people are meant to be partners, and the man has their role and the women has theirs, no matter what money. A lot of times it's a money thing. People look at it in money, and it's not. There's different roles that we play. Why does masculinity and money go together now? Now, I don't know if that's how it went back in the day, but today that's how it goes because women are doing everything themselves. They're taking care of all their bills and stuff. That's what they talk about. They're not necessarily talking about the gender roles and what they do as far as man and woman. It's all money. They want a six-figure man or whatever.
Woman gave birth to a man. He's finishing up. James Brown there. And Tori Wright says, I agree with Corey. You know what though? I think you got two people, and a perfect puzzle. It's got to go together. And you have a role, I have a role. And as a man, you are a man. You are the leader. You should be. You should be strong. You should have. When something pops off, that woman got to know that you got them, right? And, if you hollering and crying in the background, and I'm not going back to the emotional side, Helen, when I say this, how can she rely on you? That's your role. That's your job. And so I think when we talk about masculinity, we're taking that piece of that role down. And if they eliminate that either in our culture, in our country, or wherever the case may be, then that's why Big Mama in the Black community runs everything. She has a bigger masculinity concept, or it looks like she's the bigger masculinity person in the community. And Tori Wright says, I don't want no man crying harder than me, getting his nails done more than me, his eyebrows arched. Men are protectors. You can't protect me with perfect manicure. Corey Rao, I believe a woman is not supposed to do everything a man can do. We are here to do everything they can't do. I love that. That's why we compliment each other. All right. I love it. That's Corey Wright. All right, y'all. Let's play a quick little game. Any more comments on that before we do our little quiz?
Yes.
Try me, Jesus.
Message to the gangster rappers: stop putting on dresses and then doing video with machine guns saying you hard. You got on the whole Neiman Marcus dress with your shoulders and your breast out.
Breast.
Okay. All right.
You got on dress. You got breasts if you got on dress.
That's exactly the comment I was looking for. He hit that one on.
He did. He hit it on the nose.
All right.
Every once in a while.
All right, this is actually just American history. This is not a white card revoke by any means.
I'm
But
gonna say, I'm gonna apologize in advance. I have failed my white brothers and sisters because I have never won around a white card revoke.
I wasn't gonna apologize.
I hope my plane doesn't land like that. Jokes tonight.
I ain't told no jokes. I was being serious. That ain't no joke. Take them damn dresses off.
All right, here we go. This is a quiz. Ace always hit the black card revoke, so I wanted to go ahead and throw some quizzes out about American history. Let's see if you guys can answer some of these. We're going to give the audience a chance to see if they can answer them as well. If y'all are ready, we're going to go ahead and get it started. Chris Bell says, same with Shabuzi showing up on the red carpet in a dress. All right.
I'm glad
Here we go. Question number 1 says, it says, which is the smallest American state by land? That's what you call a softball. Anybody know that?
It ain't Maine. Is it? It ain't Maine.
Maine.
Is it Maine?
Y'all will much smarter than that.
Rhode Island.
It is Rhode Island. And the answer is Rhode Island.
Okay, I knew it was up there. I knew it was up there in the corner.
I think Helen got a cheater. Helen's cheating. She's got a cheater back there.
He didn't even say it until after I said it. He said it is Rhode Island. Listen.
Chris Bell said both Maine and Rhode Island. All right. The answer is Rhode Island. Okay, here we go. Question number 2. Where is the Grand Canyon located? What state is the Grand Canyon located?
Where did the Griswolds go?
Bring it on.
Is it Colorado?
Arizona.
All right. And if I'm not mistaken, it may be across a couple states. Arizona, maybe.
Helen got a cheater walking in the background, red shirt.
Walking out now. He was.
Yeah, Arizona. Chris Bell says Arizona. All right, y'all. Let's give the audience a chance to answer this. Speaking of Nevada, what is the capital of Nevada? I got to be honest with you. I didn't know this when I was looking it up.
Is it Reno?
What is the capital?
It ain't Vegas. I can tell you that.
It's not Vegas.
Y'all have not said it yet. What? Now we got all the people watching. Gonna Google it. And the answer is no, K-Hamp. It is. I guess it's Reno, unless they gave me the wrong answer.
It's not Las Vegas?
Not Las Vegas.
I thought it was Reno, but
it's just the funnest place.
I don't know.
Tony Goodson says Reno also. You know what? Now I'm getting a little nervous. My notes told me Carson City.
That don't even sound like it to be a capital.
Carson City.
And then Tori Wright says Carson City. She knows. Finally, we got some smart people.
I've never even heard of Carson City. Have y'all?
That's what I'm saying.
She's in Nevada?
Yeah.
She probably has Google. Which state is Mount Rushmore located?
Washington.
I don't even land this plane. Land the joke plane. Hopefully that was a joke.
You do know there's a Washington State and a Washington D.C.
Does it start with the I?
Does it start? No, it does not start with I. In which state is Mount Rushmore located?
I don't know this.
K-Hemp says South Dakota. And the teacher, Carmelita Rogers, says South Dakota. Michael Anderson Project says South Dakota. Tony Goodson says why?
Right.
Like a person who has no clue.
In defense of my black card, I don't have no business knowing anything about South Dakota.
Yeah, I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't disagree with that. All right, here's the next question. Give me the number of presidents who has been assassinated.
We short one, so I don't think.
Oh, y'all didn't say I got kicked off. Y'all didn't say nothing about it.
This is our last show. Hella, we gonna call you on 4-way.
Give me the number. Y'all know how many? Yeah. Joanne says South Dakota. Carmelita says, I know because I was there when I was in the Army. There we go. Okay. All right, so how many people? Okay, here we go. The answer
I know.
What's the answer?
I'm letting the audience do.
Oh, that's nice. Me too.
Oh, 3.
Abe? No, not Abe. AFK. Oh, Abe did get assassinated. Okay.
She said Abe like she was around. Wait.
Yeah. She said Abe like they go way back. Oh, Abe, yeah.
That's right. I forgot about old Abe. We had dinner last week. Abraham Lincoln, James Garfield, William McKinley, and JFK. Reagan was not assassinated, but he's the only sitting president.
That's what I'm saying. You can't count Reagan. 3. Yeah. It's only 3.
Abraham Lincoln, James Garfield, William McKinley, JFK. Smarty Pants.
William McKinley was assassinated.
I thought he drowned on the boat ride. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, here we go. And the answers are coming in. Love you, Helen. That's what I said. 4.5. There we go. Joanne says 2, 3. Oh, yeah.
Y'all missed it by a year.
His ear sure is healed too.
So you only 11 on Helen, huh, Tony?
What was the United States called in the 1600s?
Slavery.
It was called Indigenous Land.
In the 1600s, what was the United States called? And the comments are coming in, Tony. Oh, he bold with it. Yashika, he said yes.
Bold. Yeah, that's okay. It's okay.
What was the United States?
In the 1600s, the United States was called the New World.
Huh.
Okay. Kiki,
Listen,
stolen.
How is it called the New World? And then Christopher Columbus came and said he discovered America. If they already had a title.
Because he was here in 1492.
Oh.
Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
I don't know nothing about that man. That's not my business.
I love it. All right, y'all. Okay, we got just a couple more. How long did the Civil War last? This was kind of cool because I had no clue.
77 years.
Well, there was 2. So we're talking about both?
4 years.
We ain't talking about X-Men.
Okay.
You said it was
the Civil War.
I don't think we're all talking about the same thing. I don't know what page Asia is on.
I'm talking about the Civil War. She talking about X-Men Civil War. It says 2 of them.
Civil War. It wasn't the. Oh, I'm thinking of World War.
Now we got the smart people. One of them being from Sulphur Springs. Thank you for that, Corey Rao, K-Ham. All right. And finally, let's see. I think we have one more. Let me get to it. How long did the Great Depression last?
We still in it. It didn't end.
It was like 2 years, wasn't it?
The Great Depression lasted from 1929 to 1941. I had no clue.
Well,
all right, here we go.
In my defense, we didn't really know.
What's the math on that? Hold on.
Land the joke plane, Ace. All right, y'all. Actually, I have another one. All right, number 9. Who ignited the 13? Who ignited? 12. The National Civil Rights Protest. We should know this
one.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Emmett Till.
Harriet Tubman. Nat Turner.
Harry. Rosa Parks.
I was gonna say that, but I thought she just started the boycott, not the actual.
Well, that ignited it. Rosa Parks.
That's
solid. That's true, right?
And finally, y'all, this is easy. What was the name of the hurricane that hit New Orleans in 2005?
Oh, we know that now. Come on now. And on what day?
Yeah.
It was on your birthday, 2005, right?
All of the major disasters and hurricanes have happened on my birthday for some reason. It's some kind of conspiracy.
Katrina. And Dan Trapp says, now I know I shouldn't have slept during history class from Mr. Nichols. And he told
you to wake up, Dan. He told you.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. All right, y'all, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, how to be successful in an unsuccessful society. Y'all, I don't know if y'all know this. Stay tuned. But Job Corps is actually going away. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we come back.
New at 5 and some breaking news. A new federal order could have ripple effects on the workforce here in the borderland. The U.S. Department of Labor is halting operations at contractor-operated Job Corps centers across the country, and that includes the David Carrasco Job Corps Center here in El Paso. It's managed under Odal Management, LLC. Now, the Department of Labor writes the decision follows an internal review of the program's outcome and structure. They go on to state the Job Corps program has faced significant financial challenges under its current operating structure. The department is partnering with state and local workforce partners to assist current students in their training and connecting them with education and employment opportunities. The Job Corps in El Paso has been open since 1970 and is a 12-acre campus on Gateway West and Loma Land that's given thousands of students an opportunity to learn a trade. It offers programs in skills such as rehabilitation technician, culinary arts, HVAC, and welding. The pause of operations is scheduled to happen by June 30th. We have reached out to a number of state and local leaders for comment and are waiting to hear back. Jesus Baltasar will have more on this coming up tonight at 10.
Definitely want to do the local.
That a little bit.
All right, annual enrollment for Job Corps typically serves around 60,000 youth. The program annual budget is significant, exceeding $1 billion. Average cost is about $80,000, but 38% of those students actually graduate from high school. And of course, we have all of these people who go off and do great things from Job Corps. So, it keeps people off the streets, it keeps people from being homeless, and most importantly, it keeps a lot of people out of going to prison. So Job Corps is going away. I didn't actually have to do Job Corps. I don't think anybody on this panel did, but Helen, she actually works for something similar enough. What do y'all think about Job Corps going away?
I was a career advisor for Job Corps, and I think it's a travesty that it's going away, for lack of a better word.
See, you see how you had to make it about him? But anyway.
It's just the way it is.
I think it's unfortunate if there's any resource that's being taken away that helps underserving communities, right? Like, I think at the end of the day, if it was helping those, like that 38%, I understand like 38 is not even half. So I can get if they're looking at data, the numbers aren't high enough, but 38, that's still pretty high. Like, that's still pretty good. So I think it just sucks that sometimes we get so caught up in big incomes and or financial impact that we brush aside the small impacts. Like 30% is massive, because to your point, Anthony, where's that 30% without Job Corps? Are they even going to high school? Are they dropping out? Are they becoming drug dealers? Are they becoming drug users? Are they becoming abusers? Are they becoming bums? Like, there's so much left to go left when you don't have structure, and it's already going left in an underserving community. So it just sucks. We are in the simulation, man, and I need somebody to turn it off. Okay. Before 4 years.
It says that, and Terry Wright says, I have never heard of anyone going to Job Corps and come home successful. However, if you Google it, it has high STD rate, maybe closing it and giving opportunities for community colleges would be better.
Well, I used to be a career advisor at Job Corps, and I got to see the other side. I saw kids that had nothing, coming from bad background stuff. They come to Job Corps, and those kids leave with skills. Those kids, even so, the 38% say high school graduation, but even ones who don't, they still get those skills. The plumbers, welders, electricians, and things like that. So they still get on with these companies. And I see those kids leave, and they come back, and they have these high-paying jobs, and they're successful, and they can't believe that I actually can take care of myself. And so I see the success rate that was there. And without that, it would have been a lot more crime rate going on.
To Antoria's point, because I have to say, I know several people that's been in Job Corps, but really, you don't see anybody saying, I went to Job Corps, I did this, and this stepped me to this, and this stepped me to that. And even with it closing, I haven't seen people come forth and say, I am who I am today because I went to Job Corps. You don't really see that. We know that Job Corps is around. Job Corps has been around for years and years, but we don't really hear anything much about Job Corps. When was the last time you heard something about Job Corps?
Job Corps started in 1964. You had Charles Barkley, George Foreman, Mike Epps, Joseph Murphy, Rachel McAdams, I don't know her, Matthew McConaughey, Jimmy Fallon, just to name a few. It says David Letterman, but he had to be out of high school, out of whatever, before Job Corps.
I would say even to that, though, just if you don't hear about it doesn't mean it's not successful. Right? But I hear what you're saying. And I think even to Antoria's point, I would say that's a great point. I don't think that means we should get rid of it. I think they need somebody in charge to actually revamp it and make it better. Like, that doesn't sound like a Job Corps issue. That sounds like a management issue. Either way, I don't know enough about Job Corps. So I just think if it is a resource that was helping more than 2 people and more than 10% of a population, then it's probably doing at least some good that we're not aware of. And so I just think it sucks that they're even in a position where they're taking somebody's lifeline, right? And we don't know who, but they're taking somebody's lifeline and they're not replacing it. Or have we heard that they're replacing it with something? Is there like to Antoria's point, are they doing community college now? Like, you can have a 1.0 GPA and get to community college? Are we, like, what are we doing?
They saying get off this campus before we have you arrested. That's it.
And Tori Wright says there are so many opportunities. If you want them, the workforce centers have opportunities. If you are in foster care, there are opportunities. Mental disabilities, go to your local MHMR. There is help. Yashika?
I agree. And because everybody knows I raised my niece and nephew, and I've had so many challenges with that. I've been my daughter niece went to Job Corps. She graduated at 16 in Job Corps, so I know it's helpful for some. But the country that we live in, what did she say? $1 billion? Was it $1 billion a year? What did she say? That's a substantial amount of money. And what I'm going back to Antoria's point, like giving community college credits and like sending them and working with them that way. If Job Corps is closing, if it's a financial thing, which it sounds like I hadn't heard that. It sounds like it might be. Then long as what are other options they giving these kids? Right. And do they want to take them, or are kids going? Because a lot of other kids were going to Job Corps just to party and get STDs. Is that what? Does that eliminate? If we give them college and they can go to a community college, does that allow? We'll see if their drive is there or not.
Right. Like, what's replacing Job Corps? I think to me that'd be the bigger question. Like, if we're taking away Job Corps, if it's unsuccessful, it's not as helpful. What is the supplement? Because there's still a need, right? There's still people that need support that they're not getting it from elsewhere. And to Antoria's point, if you want it, it is there. I completely 100% agree with you. However, I think it's ignorant of us to act like there's not people that are so engrossed in their own tragedies that they don't even know how to get to those resources. So what is America doing to make those resources known? Like, y'all telling you closing Job Corps, what you opening? Where else can we go if we don't got Job Corps? Like, America's so AWS backwards. Like, if it was a person, I would learn how to fight just to beat them up. I'm telling you. Disgusting.
What is that? This for you.
Literally.
She's gonna learn how to fight. I think about Job Corps. It's to me seems like a good idea. I don't know much about it because I didn't do it, and I don't know anybody who went to Job Corps, to be honest with you. No. But it seemed like a good idea. That 38% of the people are graduating high school that otherwise wouldn't be graduating. Then $1 billion is not that much. $1 billion is a lot of money, but it's a small fee to pay for all the results you're getting out of it. What are those 38% doing after Job Corps? I'd like to know that number, right? In addition to that, how many people went to Job Corps that didn't graduate from high school, but maybe they didn't go to college? I mean, didn't go to prison, or didn't get killed, or it kept them out of some other kind of trouble. Maybe they didn't graduate from high school immediately, and 2 years later, 50% of them graduated. I don't know. I'd like to have those numbers as well. But if it's a good idea, let's keep a good idea. Let's just tweak a good idea. Maybe if 38% are graduating, that means some 62 or so percent aren't graduating, or whatever that number is. So let's see what we can do to bring that number down, the cost of it perhaps, and do something different from those 62. But to completely eliminate it, to me, means eliminating the 38%. So I think we need to figure that out. And Tori Wright says that $1 billion is going to the pockets of the rich. We are not in the world of help. People will have to hustle on their own, which is a horrible, horrible thing to have.
Sad truth. Sad truth.
Absolutely, it's a sad truth. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go back to the question that we had at the beginning of the show. I think it's very necessary as we bring this up. How to be successful in an unsuccessful society. The question at the very beginning of the show: what are you teaching people about you, and how are you teaching people to treat you? Helen, I think you had a whole lot more that you wanted to say against that, on that, and I would love for you to say it after we read this comment. I was supposed to go, but San Antonio. My daddy was gonna go to. I'm not gonna tell. He didn't give me the permission. Adrian Rowland, Helen says, my oldest son and Anthony and I talked about you about this. Wait, my oldest son and Anthony and I talked about you. The story.
You in this
Job Corps. I talked to you about this. You know the story, but within the Job Corps closed down.
He did get his certificate certification AC report for closing.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tiger. I wasn't trying to make fun of it. Sometimes when you're hosting, you mess up. Help on you.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna be too long-winded on this one. I think actually the clip that you have of me in the very beginning, where I say I don't have to accept nothing that nobody's giving to me if I don't want to. That's how I operate. Like, at the end of the day, this is my life, my world. And is there some maybe clap back to that or some negative sides to thinking about preserving my world? Possibly. But I don't allow things to throw me off, because at the end of the day, I have to live with myself. I have to live with the emotions that you bring up in me. I have to live with how I react to those things. So I would say that is a perfect example of how I think I show up. But I do it in a way that's authentic. Like, I'm not a butthole. I'm not nasty. I'm not egregious. I'm not unapproachable. But I also am not naive, and I'm not just gonna let you run over me. And so I just think it's important as you get older, to what Yashika said, and that's something I'm actually currently trying to remind myself, right? Like, I'm not the same as I was at 20. So there are some things that might be different about what I will accept than I would back then. Or maybe there's some things that I'm not going for at all the older I get that I accept when I was younger. And so I think how, as we get older and how we teach people how to treat us, I think it's okay for that to kind of adapt as you grow, because sometimes you're more, or you learn some things and you're able to apply that in different situations, and maybe things aren't as triggering, or maybe things you're able to see in a different light, so you're able to adjust how you receive things. But anyways, all that to say, I think the clip that you have is a good job, and I think I do a good job of showing up that way, and I think I do a good job because I show up that way, that people treat me that way. So the way I show up is also, y'all get what I'm saying.
And Terry Wright says no one has to respect you. It's up to you to decide if you're going to allow mistreatment. You know what? So I was talking to a friend of mine today, and she says I'm too old to teach people how to test me. I guess silence is golden. You know what? I was talking to a friend of mine today, y'all, and this friend of mine was telling me that she was trying to, she was wanting to get into a relationship. And I said, you know, she just kind of got out of a relationship. I hope she's listening. She's actually been on the show before. And I said, are you your friend? Are you your own friend? And she was like, what do you mean? And I said, first of all, you know, if you try to find your own relationship, sometimes you steer yourself in the wrong direction because you know what you like, but you don't know enough about you. Your friends know more about you than you know about you. You know, whenever you start writing these things down on a sheet of paper and they asking you all these questions, are you this type of person? Are you that type of person? And you answer how you want the world to perceive, but you don't necessarily answer how you truly are. So you become your own friend. Learn who you really are, like your friends do. And instead of your friends having to hook you up with somebody that they think will be a better person for you, you can then decide who's a better person for you. So you have to become your own friend. I say all that to say, that's when you start learning who you are, then you'll know how people should treat you. Now, I don't put up with this, so let me go ahead and nip this in the bud right now. Or, hey, this is the expectation I have out of friendship from you, so let me go ahead and set up that expectation, and I'm going to speak to you in this kind of way. It's funny how whenever any of us on this crew, and I'm pretty sure we don't talk to a lot of them, but when a preacher comes around, you stop cussing. When a preacher comes around, you change the way you act. You change the way you even think, and you start talking about God a whole lot more when a preacher comes around than you do whenever us four sitting around with each other, right? The whole game changed. Why? Because he's earned your respect and he didn't even do anything. I think that once we walk into a room, we have to go and we have to walk with that kind of power, and we have to demand that kind of respect from everybody without even saying a word. I think Eternity said that silence is golden. Without even saying a single word, you have to demand that respect. And that's just kind of my take on it. Nobody else?
That was a good take, boy.
And I just want to add to it, when it comes to how are you teaching people to treat you, I think that's one of the things that we focus less on. To your point, Anthony, like, we're in a world where validation is so big that we aren't even teaching our kids how to really show people and teach them how to treat you. It's versus, like, even, and I don't want to go left too much, but even like when we talk about having to raise our Black babies with the awareness of them being Black, right? Like, you do not get the same privileges as X, Y, and Z because you are Black, right? Like, we don't talk about enough teaching our kids that show people how to treat you because you're not accepting that. So I just think as a society, and maybe as parents, that might be a skill set that, or a skill that we don't think teaching, that maybe we should start. When I say we, I don't got kids, so I'm talking on my butt. I'm not a parent. I don't know.
Well, it's every aspect of you know, that's in your workplace, in your personal life, like you said, you know, church, or wherever. You just have to teach people how to treat you. There was a job I worked there. There was one of the managers. He used to throw stuff at people, and I remember my manager got fired, so we went over to his team and we were in the meeting. And he picked something up, and I started laughing. He was like, "What's so funny?" And I close your ears, Mr. Goodson. What I just, I had to treat him how he teach me. I said, the funny thing is, you think you're gonna throw that, and I'm not gonna whoop your ass. And I said, you got two options. We either gonna both go to HR and get fired together, or you gonna take an ass whooping and learn a lesson. And then I sat there with my pen and pad, started taking notes. And he was like, but guess what? He never did it again. He never even thought about trying to act like he was gonna do that because it ain't happening.
You don't play like that.
No, not like that. The hard part, people get the jokes and stuff mixed up because I like having fun, nice guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't get that confused with me choking the dog shit out of you.
Oh, no.
It helps. I agree, Goodson. What you explained is a perfect example of people not being aware of their blind spots. Absolutely.
Ooh,
absolutely.
That's good.
Your manager would have learned that day.
He sure would have. I was going to be a legend up there that day. I really wanted him to do it, too.
How to be successful in an unsuccessful society.
There's 3 P's that you got to annihilate, crush, or destroy if they're getting in the way of your progress in a relationship or your career or your happiness or your health. These are the 3 P's that make learned helplessness. Number 1, you think the problem is permanent. Once you've had enough disappointment, sometimes your brain doesn't want to get disappointed, so it's a permanent problem. Please write down, no problem is permanent. Only your soul is permanent. Nothing's forever. Everything changes. Everything eventually ends and something new begins. That's part of life. Those are the seasons of life. The second P that keeps people in learned helplessness so they don't change, this belief's got to be annihilated, broken through, and that it's pervasive. That means that because my relationship's not great, my whole life is horrible. And you're forgetting you do have health, or you do have friends, or you do have a job, or you do have whatever. I can breathe. And the third one is we think the problem is personal. There's something wrong with me. And if you start believing that, it becomes self-fulfilling. You give up. See, I'm not good enough. I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not smart enough. I always screw it up. So those 3 P's got to be destroyed.
That's good.
I like those a lot.
My man.
Those are good.
That's it. That's in the personal part. That's great. It's not personal.
It's not
it's
permanent.
Never personal. And it's not permanent.
Yeah.
And it's not pervasive.
Pervasive, that's the one. I was talking to my cousin the other day, and she was like, she always going through something. And then I had a conversation prior to one of my boyfriend's best friends, and we were talking about how if you always say definitive words, always, never. That's not true, because you're not always in a bad mood. Was you in a bad mood 20 minutes ago? Probably not. You just got in a bad mood. You're not always in a bad mood. So that pervasive, such a strong one, because we do that a lot. We always want to be dramatic with our words. It's like, girl, you ain't always mad at the world.
Man.
Don't be.
Because said, this show Yashika, period. Helen Ace and Dicky.
I noticed that.
And Tony Rice, the wildlife coach, is so rare. I couldn't hear nothing because he was so extra. You know what? What I like about what you just said, Helen, I always tell people one of the reasons why I wasn't a bad kid and I didn't grow up to be a bad person is because my parents never told me I was bad. Think about that. When people are, oh, he's so bad. My parents never told me I was bad. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, however you speak things in your life, maybe that's why you get certain things in your life. Positivity results come from positivity speaking and thinking sometimes. Y'all, it's been a really, 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 really good show. I've really, truly enjoyed this one. Any closing comments from you 3? Before we hit that last piece.
Ain't nothing like a fire really to take us on home.
Show up authentically. And if you don't know how to do that, answer the questions Mrs. Goodson proposed. And you'll think.
You meant facts, Helen. I like that, Helen.
Wake up every day with gratitude. The moment you wake up, gratitude is the word. Period.
And what I would say is this is from Charlie, my 8-year-old. A bad moment doesn't make a bad day.
All right now.
So just because you're having a bad moment or a bad day doesn't make a bad month. A bad month doesn't make a bad year. We have to just not take life so seriously that one little thing that happens during the day, in the morning, makes you angry and mad for the entire day. Permanent was the best one for me, and the reason why is because a lot of times we think when things happen, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
How to
But
be
things
successful
aren't
in an
permanent.
unsuccessful society. I think you write down what success is and looks like to you, and when you accomplish it, scratch it off, and then write something else down.
That's good too.
We talk about this every once in a while. I think I talk to y'all about this. This is how I live my life, and I always write, what does the perfect life look like? And I always start off with today and 10 years from now, and my finances over here, and how much I want to weigh. That's a hard one to accomplish sometimes. And what job I want to accomplish, and documentaries and podcasting and this, that, and other. And I scratch them off when I achieve them. And I don't like for them to be on there much longer than about a month. And so that's my take. Anyway, y'all, it's about that time. I'm pretty excited. I think it's been a good show, so I feel like we're going to end it in the right way. Let's see. Here we go.
Hey, yo, who we got on the show next week?
I appreciate you for asking that.
Sheikah's on you.
This has been a great show. Hey, yo, Ace.
What's up, Sheikah?
It's getting ready to get even better, y'all. Stay tuned. Who we got on the show next week?
I'm glad you asked. Next week, it's going to be one of our fun shows. We're going to have one of our crowd favorites on the show, Mr. Sweet and Low. He's going to be talking to us. Y'all remember he's the gay midget that's fighting for equality. I get it? Never mind. Sweet and Low, gay midget. He's sweet and low. Take us to next week.
I got it.
Sweet and low. He's sweet and low.
Right.
You know, people tell us, they say, boy, he used a lot of gay jokes, or he used a lot of midget jokes. But I've never seen you use both of them at the same time.
And that's why I had to include everybody.
Let's see what he gave us. All right. It's not looking good. It's not looking good.
Yeah, we didn't know the context of your joke, Ace. We got to understand.
Well, guess what? The airplane and the zero, guess what? This was a bad moment in my day. It's not my
period. Man, and that's how you wrap it up.
What the hell?
Period.
Hey, your family is taken care of. You can't help give you a 7. Helen, what do you give that one?
Now that I understand it, a 7. Delivery, -7.
You know
Which that brings us back to.
I'm just talking to the wrong crowd. Maybe that's what it is. Y'all just don't. I need like a Jay Leno crowd or something like that.
Oh, Helen got a bigger laugh.
We want to see you next week.
Y'all, this has been a lot of fun. Actually, we have never in 5 years done a show, and I think we'll celebrate in about 2 or 3 weeks, 5-year anniversary of Rebranders. In 5 years, y'all, we have never done a show about relationships. Ace, correct me if I'm wrong. We have never once did it like husband and wife type relationship, not friendship relationship.
No,
and I think next week, as we get ready to close off 5 years, that might actually be a pretty good show to have.
We're gonna talk about everybody finding their boat.
If y'all don't want me on the show anymore, just say so. You don't have to. Don't make it subliminal for me. I like to just give it to me straight. You tell me not to show up, I won't show up. So you don't gotta whatever.
Beat around the bush. Although now I think about it, I think maybe we had Janique and the Masons on one time, so it might have been a relationship show.
Yeah.
But anyway, next week we're gonna do a relationship show. I'm pretty excited about it. Thank you everybody. Kay Ham, we appreciate and Tori Wright, Tony Goodson, Deborah Collette, who else? Corey Rao, we appreciate you, Carmelita, everybody, Chris Bell. So I know I'm forgetting a lot of people. I apologize, but until next week, thank y'all for joining.
Sometimes you gotta go look at yourself and go, I'm ready to relinquish this.
I'm one of them people, hey, you gotta give a man a day in court.
The underlining of all of it is authenticity, right?
She's making them money, so they gonna put the camera on her because she's paying.
I think the prize is the other person. We have not integrated in the United States. Start buying some of the things that we have to offer then we will see a difference in how we act as Black people.